from the charts and from giving the trades. And it is just personally because I don't think so the market is worth trading right now, and we have made enough money. If you follow my calls from the start, we have made enough money, so we don't need to extra trade, over trade, and lose and round trip all the gains we have made. Hence I decided to close the month directly, where we have this limit going on. And I will explain what is the reason of this trade and why I am looking to long from this area. Before that, we can cover a quick market update as well, what I'm expecting next on the Bitcoin, and of course the Ethereum and the Solana, and then I can get into your charts, the altcoins that you guys want me to analyze, and then we can end the stream. So that is usually the structure of my stream. It's moreover like an educational stream where I come and explain the reasoning of my setups, and I cover all the confluences, the reason I'm taking that is stuff, so you guys can learn a lot from my streams if you are one of those who like to just generally learn and understand. Let's say if I say the Bitcoin is going down there, you should know that why do I expect the Bitcoin should go down this. So yeah, that's the whole point. I mean, you should not blindly follow anyone. You should ask questions that, hey, Owais, if you're expecting that the Bitcoin will go down, then why do you expect that the Bitcoin will go down? So let's get to it. First of all, I'm gonna talk about the short opportunity I missed. The short opportunity I missed in the morning, and I believe the soul caught it or not. I'm not quite sure, but if you are not aware, this is the short opportunity I'm talking about. Yeah, you can see there was an NPOC. If you guys are not aware what is the NPOC is, it is basically when a POC. So let's say this is a volume profile, right? This is a volume profile, and this is a POC. The POC is basically an area where the most price have been traded. So let's say this is a range, and this is a volume of an entire range, and the POC is basically an area where the price have consolidated for the most or traded for the most. That's what basically a POC is. So let's say once we go to from one range to the different range, we should always retest that POC which we created, the previous range POC, and then go higher, or then go lower. That's basically, but if we don't retest it, then it becomes the NPOC, and you can see that was the case here. This was the range daily candle. Our daily sorry, our POC of this range was around 89k, and the price never swept this NPOC. Then the price went up. This is the Monday high. This the price created this Monday high, swept the POC, and you can already see the reaction, how far we went lower. So I think it makes most sense. To short from here, of course, you could have gone on a lower time frame, and you could have waited for a structure break on a lower time frame and then took an entry, etc. So but yeah, overall that was a good short opportunity that I missed. That's basically what I want to discuss in the start, that this was a good short opportunity. Now the reason I am expecting a I'm placing a limit somewhere around here is it have a really good reason. And if you follow me from my past streams, you will understand that I only take A plus setups, by the way. Sometimes I deviate from my plan and I take B setups, A plus, but it's rarely. Most of the times, the reason you see a lot of less setups from me is that I take A plus setup, I make my money from them, even if I'm making like 2 to 3 hour. I'm trading on a prop firm account, and the prop firm account, let's say if it's an 100k account, I'm making 3 hour on a trade, no trims. So that's like $3,000, even if I'm risking just one person. So I think that's great. I don't need to trade more. That's why the capital is really important. Anyone who says that capital doesn't matter, it does matter. So I will highly advise that take a Profirm account. If you don't trade on a Profirm account, but if you have a big enough capital, let's say 500k, 600k, then it's good. Then it's fine. But if not, the Profirms are really helpful. If you want my suggestion for the Profirm, the easier and the safer bet is the breakout. They have a clear rules. They never rejected a payout. Owned by the Kraken. Great Profirm. But yeah, anyways, now this was the short opportunity we missed. Now for the longs, the reason which I'm looking along at this area, specifically at this area, there are two important reasons. The first of all is, of course, we have a FVG here. You can already see we have this FVG on a 4 hour time frame. And even if you don't trade the ICT concepts, you can see we have a weekly level. Now if you follow me from start, you would know what I'm talking about when I say weekly level. You can see how price have been respected, how price have respected that weekly level. We tried to break that line. Just focus on this line. We've tried to break it once, twice, thrice, then fourth time and the fifth time, and we never was able to break this line basically. Now let's come back to this price action, and you can see it is the same story here. One, two, three, four, and almost four times we have tried to break down this weekly level, and we still haven't been able to do it. So this is a really important level. And if we go on a daily time frame, you can see the price went down, the price closed below the weekly level. This is a really important thing which I'm teaching you right now. You can see the price closed below the weekly level. Even if it's a daily, the price closed below the weekly level, then we went up, then we came back to retest it. The retest on of weekly levels, of major levels, some always happens. Most of the time, 80 to 70% of the time they happen. So you can see we went up, we retested, and then we continued our trend. Now we went lower. Now this the same case here. We closed below the daily level, so I'm expecting that we are gonna go retest this weekly level and then run higher. Now of course we can wick into our SL, but I don't think so that matters, because you can see our liquidity from lows have been swept. So this is the major low, major lows which we are looking at, which I don't think so they will go and sweep, because we have swept this liquidity. So now we have two liquidities on the chart. If we go and sweep this liquidity, then it's most likely then we will go lower, sweep this and sweep this. But if we don't, then what's our next target? This liquidity and this liquidity which we are looking at here. There is a 4 hour imbalance. You can see this is the liquidity. This is a really major liquidity we have here, so we will go in there and sweep that basically. So that's why we never got the retest of this weekly level on a daily time frame or even on a 4 hour time frame. So I would expect all this liquidity to get swept, especially this low and this low. I would expect all of this to get swept, run down lower, fill into our, tap into our weekly level, tap into our FEG, and then higher basically from there. Usually I don't place the limits, and there is a really important reason why I don't like to place the limits, is because I think it is better if you trade the reaction rather than placing the limits. Now what do I mean by trading the reaction? It is pretty simple, that you wait for low, on a lower time frame, you wait for a reaction from a lower time frame. Let's say something like this on a lower time frame. Keep in mind, on a lower time frame, you see a break of a structure, you went down, you detest on a imbalance, and then you make an entry. So basically, in simple words, if price comes down on a lower time frame, you would like to see bounces and confirmations before you make an entry. That's how I like to play. But in this case, I think this is a really major level, and if we don't respect this, then it's most likely then that we will go lower. So that's why I'm just placing a limit, and I don't want to miss such a good opportunity. That's one case. And I do believe there was an NPOC as well, if I'm not wrong. No, there was not an NPOC, but there was a single print. You can see this is a sign that the volume in this area. Let me see if anyone have any question. No. So you can see the volume in this area. This is a really important thing. The volume in this area is really low. So this means when a price will come down to this area, then it's most likely to have an impulsive reaction. Now, what do I mean by impulsive reaction? Basically means, let's say the price is doing this. Now this is a low volume area, this is a low volume area. If price comes to this, then it's most likely going to get a quick bounce, or if not the quick bounce, it's going to do something like this. But the price won't sustain here, price won't do this. But if it's doing, then it's most likely the price is weaker and it will go lower. So you can see in this area we have a single print. The volume of this area is like a really less, and you can see when the price came down here, and it bounced really quickly. You can see it went like to the 89k from to the 86k once we tapped those single prints. Now that's the same case here which we are looking at, is we have this volume, and if the price goes down, then I'm expecting an impulsive reaction. If not, then we will go lower. If we do a chop, then we will go lower. So ideally we want the impulsive reaction from here. We do not want to see a chop, or we closing below the weekly level. If there is any 4 hour closing below the weekly level, then it's a really major sign for me to just turn bearish instead of staying bullish. But I would still like to play my setup completely, because the December price action, you never know what's going to happen next, because that's the biggest problem of the December price action, which is why I haven't been trading. But I will also be buying an account in January as well, a new Profam account, and I will be trading it live. Even if I blow it up, I will buy another one. But yeah, but it's most likely I won't blow it up. Yeah, so that's basically the reason for this Bitcoin long. The another reason, of course, is the if we draw the Fibonacci from lows to the highs, you can see we have a discount area lining up with our entry, which we are looking at. So overall, this is a really good setup. I'm looking at the target remains this liquidity. Maybe you can target higher 92k if you want. I will see. Okay. I will see if I want to extend the targets or if I want to close the trade entirely at the 4 hour, but I will see. And another thing which I'm personally trying is trying to minimize the trims so you guys can have the as accurate R as you can. So yeah, that's basically the Bitcoin update. Now, if you want me to talk about the higher time frame, short areas, my first POE is of course this level. We have a NPOC. If you I showed it in the start, we have a NPOC somewhere around here. Plus we have a daily level. Plus we have a Fibonacci as well. If we draw it from the lows to the highs, you can see we have a 0.79 level is see my cursor 0.79 level lining up with the daily level. So overall the same setup which we are seeing here is the same setup is here, in probability wise, of course, even at the confluences wise, but we can argue on that. So this is a really good area to short 92k, and this is a really good area to long 85k. Of course you can also mark this as a range. This is a range, right? You can see this is a range, so you can also mark this as a sweep of range highs and then go lower. Yeah, but I will ideally, I won't like to place a limit somewhere around here. I would like to play a reaction. If there is a rejection on a lower time frame with the confirmations that we are going lower, then I will make an entry and then I will short from here. Stop loss goes above the highs. That's more over a technical thing. I will explain it in some other stream, but yeah, overall that's the Bitcoin game plan. I know the game plan have been quite similar from past couple of streams, but the thing is that there is just nothing to talk about the Bitcoin. This is just a shit price action. I don't trade the lower time frame as the soul does. So if you're looking for scalps, I will highly advise that follow the soul. He's a really good when it comes to the scalps, but I'm not the scalper. I'm an intraday trader and I like to play it with ability of mine. So yeah, that's basically an update on the Bitcoin. If anyone have question, they can ask me. The major levels from me, this is the major long level and this is the major rejection levels, by the way, and I have explained those in previous streams, so I don't need to I have to buy a new account. For how much time is it? It is not about the time. As I said, the last one, it was not really of mine. I get a certain percentage of it. So that's why, but I'm looking to buy a new account, and I'll try to pass that. I'm gonna start with the smaller one, and then I'm gonna scale it to the higher one, because that is it. Hmm. And platforms have their own rules. I'm gonna try the different platform as well, which is a breakout. The last one I was using was Hyro. It's a good platform. I'm not saying Hyro is a bad platform, but I just like to play with the freedom of mine. So breakout have more freedom. They have lesser rules. Even if you go and search about the breakout, you can see they are acquired by the Kraken. They have lesser rules. Great reputation in the industry. So yeah, but I'm not saying the other platforms are bad, but I just personally I would go with the breakout, right? Like, I mean, I would rather give $100 more but get like a surety that I'm gonna get my money once I pass the account, right? You don't want to risk your payouts for just 100 bucks, right? So yeah, let's get to the Ethereum. Unless anyone have any other question, Ethereum, the game plan still remains the same on the Ethereum as well. The lower time frame is not even worth talking about. Um, but I think we can create a new plan. I think we can analyze the Ethereum and see if there is a new plan we can form. So it's been days we haven't formed a new plan on live stream. So let's do this. I think it's worth talking about the Ethereum. Let's build a plan on the Ethereum. What I'm seeing. You see, this anchored VWAP have already been tested like 3 times, and we are already seeing a rejection from there. So this is an anchored VWAP you should keep an eye on. You can see another one, and we are respecting this right now. Hmm. Hmm. And then of course we have from here, right? We have an anchored VWAP from here. Okay, I will like to have an anchored VWAP of this high at the moment. And if I go on a weekly time frame, do I see anything On a weekly time frame, this is a important level, by the way. This is an important level. You can see there's an imbalance, there's a pin bar candle as well. So for me, I would definitely be interested in keeping an eye on this level. We can see a good rejection from this level for sure. um I then get VWAP here. Yeah, overall this is a good level, but there's nothing much to look at it on a weekly. On a daily, we have this daily level which we are looking at. This is a good daily level which we can classify as a daily level. And we have this is also good daily level which we are, if I draw the Fibonacci from the lows to the highs, you see, you can already see how struggling, how trash of this price action is when it is so hard to analyze this. This was a good short opportunity, and I think we caught it. I'm not sure if we did. But overall, I think this level still remains nice. I would be keeping an eye on this level. I don't think so. This is a bad level at all, but rather I think this is a really strong level in my eyes. I mean, if I draw the anchored VWAP from this, yeah, I think this is a good level. It's grabbing my attention. This is a good level, and I will be definitely be keeping an eye on this. Um, Ideally, what we can do is that we go up, we do SFP of this high, sweep this high, do SFP, and then go lower, something like this. So of course, I'm definitely keeping an eye on this level. We have a anchored VWAP here as well. Let me draw the Fibonacci as well. Oh yeah, you can see we have a golden pocket around somewhere around this level as well. So I think this is a good level which we are looking at. Plus, I mean, if we are gonna go bounce from here, then it makes sense most likely to just at least tap this level before rejection. You get my point? So and sweep this liquidity, because if we are gonna go above this, then it makes sense to also sweep these, tap into this liquidity pool, and then go lower from this. This is basically a liquidity pool. Go lower from there. So yeah, this is looking interesting for sure. Let me see if there's any question. Yeah, you can already see the confluences are aligning together. I mean, we have a really good value area high at the golden pocket, the FVG, and an anchored VWAP. So we have this box, you can say. It's $100 box, but if there is a reaction somewhere around this box, uh, then we can look for entries. So I will highly advise you to keep an eye on this box. This is looking really good. For this weekly level, I mean, let me go on a weekly time frame and see what's up. I mean, yeah, this level is, I mean, this is not entirely a bad level, but could this be a level? No, not really. But this is not entirely a bad level, but of course, it's not a most greatest level you can have as well, right? So yeah, but I think this is a good level overall. You have a value area high, the premium zone, the anchored VWAP, that the imbalance. Of course, we have a weekly FVG here as well. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on this level, and I really like this Ethereum level. Yeah, so that's my game plan on the Ethereum right now. For sure, there's a reaction. I would love to play this on Ethereum. That's basically the game plan on the Ethereum right now. And this, I see a great long opportunity on the Ethereum, or maybe there is. Yeah, you can keep an eye on this level, but I won't stress upon it. But I would say definitely keep an eye on this level. This is the level I'm talking about. Don't stress much, but if the Bitcoin is bouncing, then definitely you can look to long around somewhere here. But I would say don't stress it. Okay. Let me draw the anchored VWAP. No, unfortunately, we don't have an anchored VWAP here. Let me draw it from here. Do we have something here? No, not really. Let me draw the volume profile. I don't think so. There, yeah, you can see there's the most volume. So yeah, you can already see if the price comes down here, then we should see an impulsive move. So these are the two areas. You see, this is the area which I'm looking. This entire box. If there is a reaction from this box, then I would say after the sweep of this, okay, make sure this is a condition. Once we sweep this, if there's a reaction from this box, something like this, then we can long. So yeah, that's looking good. I like this. I'm gonna hide this for a moment. Let me just hide this, and let's talk about this. This is not entirely a bad zone. So let's say if the price comes down, sweep this. Price comes down, sweep this. Then I would like to see something like this for a reversal. Yeah, break of structure and run higher. That would be the game plan for the Ethereum on an intraday. If you get a long opportunity around here. Let me see if there's an NPOC as well. I don't want to use this tool too much because it restricts the use, and I only like to keep it on the Bitcoin. Yeah, there's not really an NPOC on the Ethereum. Yeah, you can see we have an NPOC on the Ethereum right here as well. So this is just another confluence. So this is a really good level on the Ethereum. I would definitely be keeping an eye on. And but we don't have an NPOC at intraday for an intraday for intraday level. But I would be keeping an eye on this imbalance, golden pocket, sweep of this low volume. So yeah, that's good. Why did I just download the chart? I wanted to take a screenshot. So that's basically the game plan on the Ethereum. I like this. I like this. This is a good. This is a good improvement. We see something different on the Ethereum other than the Bitcoin. So it's quite a similar plan that we have on a Bitcoin. Like tap into this imbalance, tap into the discount area, and go long from there. And same here. The tap into this imbalance. Let me just remove this and tap into the discount area and run higher. So this is quite of a similar idea, but the one problem is that we have already had some tap before on the Ethereum FVG. But I think this is a good idea that I'm going with, that we once we sweep this, tap into this, see a impulsive reaction followed by a break of structure, and then run higher. So yeah, I like this. This is the two areas where I'm looking. And of course, if there is a bounce on the Bitcoin, then there will be a bounce on the Ethereum as well. Solana is not worth looking. I did said that I will analyze the Solana, but honestly, man, you can see this is not even worth charting. It does not excite me. I don't want to trade Solana. So I think let's just skip to this, right? So we are seeing no bounces from a major zones as well on the Solana. Like if I go on a daily time frame, I hope the chart can load. You can see this was a good order block, but again, no good bounce. We are just consolidating, which is sorry, which is not a good sign, of course, if you're just going to consolidate at the major zone. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Solana right now. I would just call it off, honestly. Don't think so it's worth it. Anyways, I think that's it for the stream. If you guys have any question, do let me know if you want me to guys analyze any altcoins. But my streams are usually fast and quick because I come and I give the Bitcoin update, it's Ethereum update, because that's the most what I trade. But still, if you guys have any questions about your altcoins, I would be happy to answer. But otherwise, Bitcoin and Ethereum is my everything. If I think Bitcoin is going up, then it makes sense to long every other altcoin which is strong. So I think the Bitcoin is the only asset you should be looking at anyways, and you can make a lot of money by trading it. But yeah, if not any questions, we will be ending the stream. If you want me to analyze your chart, we can. Otherwise, we are good to end this. Yeah, let me know. I'm gonna wait 2 minutes and we'll be good. Yeah, I don't see any questions. So I think we are good to end this stream. Thank you guys for joining. If any question, drop it in the journal chat, and I would be happy to answer it. Cheers, guys. Thank you.